Morning. So, what I have to say today, it goes back to the SNAP program debate yesterday and day before. But I'm not here to specifically talk about that. I'm here to talk about those that responded to the post. Those conservatives who are so cold and unfeeling and ideologically frozen, really, in this idea that conservatism opposes any form of government assistance to those who either A, cannot help themselves, are destitute, or those that just need a little bit of help. I want to say to you guys that your brand of conservatism is why people run away from it. The vitriol and hatred and condescension that I saw on my page yesterday from you guys is why the conservative movement is looked at as cold, unfeeling, that the people in it are looked at as racists who do not care about anything or anyone but themselves. Now, I realize that this could be taken as me painting a broad brush. I'm not talking about everybody in the conservative movement, but those who are representing that movement on my page over the past few days, I just want to say that you are doing the movement absolutely no favors. You are not convincing anyone to join you in making the conservative movement stronger. If anything, you're driving people away, including other conservatives. In your mind, the U.S. government should do absolutely and utterly nothing to help those that cannot help themselves. That is, not only is it inhumane, it's absolutely ridiculous. Because if that's the case, then the GI Bill, the Veterans Association, all these benefits that the military has for soldiers that are no longer in the military, according to you, those soldiers should not receive anything. If we follow your logic, unless those soldiers remain in the military, they should not be eligible for any of those benefits. The GI Bill and the VA Association should just go away, according to your logic. Because once these soldiers are out of the military, they should go out, get jobs, as you guys are so fond of saying. They should go out, get jobs, and do it themselves, because the U.S. taxpayer should not foot the bill for them. I mean, that's what your logic would say, right? I mean, we can't have people just feeding off the government now, can we? That's your logic. That's you guys. What's hilarious is you refuse to acknowledge the fact that there's a percentage of the military that are on SNAP benefits. Are we going to take that from them? Are we going to boot them off because your ideological bent, your ideological leanings say so? We're going to kick them off? Because that's exactly what you guys are talking about. The people that are on the SNAP program are not lazy slugs. They didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I want to be on the government dole because I don't feel like doing it for myself anymore. That's not what people are doing. That's what you think people are doing. That is the lie that you've been fed. That is the image that you've built based on what you've seen people do when they are taking advantage of the system. Do people take advantage of the system? Yes, they do. Do people sell their food stamps? Yes, they do. Do they represent the majority of the people who are in the SNAP program? Not even close. But according to you, everybody that has ever received food stamps is meeting someone in a back alley and they are exchanging their food stamps for cash or whatever else, or drugs or whatever. You're taking everybody that's ever been on this program, no matter their motivations or reasons for being in the program, and turning it into something sinister. That's like, you guys remind me of the left in so many ways when it comes to this. How many times have all of you said, you've looked at an issue and you've said, well, if you get out of line with the left, then they're just going to beat you. There's no freedom of thought on the left. There's no original thought on the left. Well, given this debate, there's no individual or freedom of thought on the right either. Because my opinion on the SNAP program didn't fit inside the little box that you built around the conservative movement, all of a sudden, I'm back on the plantation. Isn't that right, Addison? I'm back on the plantation. The left has destroyed me. Isn't that right? No, neither one of those has happened. I looked at this issue not from a very narrow viewpoint. I didn't look at it through the lens of isolated incidents where people are taking advantage of the system, and I apply that to the millions of people who are on this program. Unlike you, who look at the minority that is abusing the system and apply it to the majority. That by itself goes against one of the bedrock principles of conservatism, where the minority rules the majority. Isn't that, one of the tenets, one of the bedrock principles of conservatism, where, look at the gun debate. The very, 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 very small number of gun owners who commit crimes, should they be used to punish the majority of gun owners who are doing what they're supposed to do? In every debate, every mass shooting, we can't punish the rest of the gun owners for the actions of a few. So why are you so willing to punish the majority of those on a SNAP program for the actions of a few? I mean, if we're going to do that, you might as well jump to the other side. You might as well go be on the left. You might as well subscribe to Mother Jones, because you're following the same formula. It's not fair to apply the sins of a few to the many who are doing everything that they're supposed to do, who are doing their best to get out of this system. It's not designed to get people out of it. It's possible. I've seen it happen. So again, that's a false narrative. It is a false narrative that is trotted out every time a subject like this comes up. So I'm going to close this out by saying this. Conservatives, specifically the conservatives that responded to my post the other day, I'm so happy that you guys will never, ever, ever face a situation where you lose your job, you lose your mobility, anything like that. You are so secure in your situation that you never have to worry about losing your livelihood. You never have to worry about that. Or do you? Because many of the people on the SNAP program thought the exact same thing, and look where they are. They're on the SNAP program, they're doing their best to try to get out, and they have people like you who are looking down on them, who are spitting on them, who are characterizing them as parasites on the back of the taxpayers, when nothing could be further from the truth. I hope that you guys don't ever, ever, ever have to face a situation where you can't do it by yourself, where you have to depend on the government. I guess that puts Social Security and Medicaid out of the park for you guys. That puts Social Security and Medicare out of the question for you, because you're supposed to do it by yourself, right?